And welcome back to Derby Date Night. Eric and I were sitting here waiting for Sirius, and I decided to try and figure out what button lets us go live, and I still don't know.
There's only like a couple hundred buttons
There's
over there.
so many buttons. I don't want to screw it up. Okay, anyway, Sirius is here, and now we are live, and you can hear us as well as watch the game. We are on our fourth game of the Smalltown Smackdown tournament, a B-level skater tournament that we always enjoy every year here in the cornfields of Muncie, Indiana. We're having a great time. We've had 3 games already, and we've about to meet our last 2 teams to play in this tournament. We have got the Rolla Rockets versus our home team of Cornfed Roller Derby. So go ahead and throw some blue hearts in the chat if you're here to root for Cornfed, and some gold and black hearts in the chat if you're here for the Rolla Rockets. Both of these teams were part of the tournament last year, but they did not. Wait, did they play each other? I think they did play each other, and Cornfed won. But I have been told by Rolla that they are a very different team. And I know because they're my home team, Cornfed also has a very different team. So this is a blank slate for everybody as we come back and come into the last first game of the tournament. Alexa's here, who was one of the main Cornfed jammers last year at this tournament. You're on your way down the coast for fishing and just got out of the dead zone. Perfect timing, and you get to watch your former team. Yay! Mr. Bruce Guy, I did see your clarification from the last game, and that is exactly, they did view the Star Pass as complete because the refs called it a complete Star Pass. So even though it may not have been completed, the refs signaled it was. So that is what happened in the last game. If you want to know what I'm talking about and you didn't watch the last game, you can always go back and watch these games again on replay. I highly suggest you do, because we've been doing a lot of learning, and there have been some competitive close games. And you think it was a close game last year, Alexa? Okay, I think so too. We've got some hearts for Rolla. We've got some hearts for Cornfed, and we are so excited to be able to root for both of these teams. I know Cornfed is my home team, but I kind of fell in love with Rolla last year. One of our besties, Cup of TNT, came over before the game just to say hello, and so exciting to get to see her again and to have her be back, and we can't wait to see. And she really wants a Skater of the Game sticker, but told her she has to earn it. First, you got to earn the nomination for Skater of the Game, which Eric and I, Eric's here.
I am here.
Yep.
Still.
Just remembering that you're here.
It's all good.
And making sure the chat knows. So Eric's still here, and so is Sirius, but he doesn't talk on the microphone. And what was I saying? Skater of the Game. Eric and I at halftime choose 1 blocker from each team and 1 jammer from each team for you all to vote on during the second half for your Skater of the Game. And the winner of that vote will get a Derby Date Night Skater of the Game sticker. It's very exclusive, very special. Yes. All right, Megan says, let's go Rockets, former Molly Trauma supporting from Denver. Oh, we're sad to not see you in person, but we're so glad that you can watch here on Derby Date Night. For those of you who don't know who we are, we bring you live roller derby all around the Midwest. We are live almost every weekend, so subscribe so you can see all the good roller derby all over the place. And this weekend, we're here and we're live all weekend. Shout out to Ivy from Mr. Iron Ham. Yes, Ivy Brusinia. This is her last tournament before retirement. All right, a quick start to this game, and Sporty from Rolla Rockets becomes your lead jammer.
Shorty.
Shorty? What did I say?
Sporty.
Sporty. Oh, I was just reading the jacket. Oh, it's Shorty. What if Shorty can play that other player? Smalls. Yeah, I want them to play each other. All right, Shorty through for 8 points total. Hamburger Buns jamming for Cornfed is out, and these skaters are skating together to the pack. Hamburger actually passed Shorty there. Shorty decides to call the jam. I think was able to grab at least a couple more points there. 2 points, bringing that total to 10. So we start with a power jam for Rolla Rockets as something happened at the end, and Hamburger Buns went to the penalty box as jammer. So this will be a power jam for Rolla Rockets, which is not how Cornfed wants to start out this tournament. Becky Sandusky says, let's go Rockets. Wish I was there with you from Fear 9 3/4. Mr. Bruce Guy, do Derby people ever just retire? No, Bruce. We always stick around. We haunt our teams forever. Crashandra Burns is going to be your lead jammer for Rolla Rockets. Wow, look how fast Crash is coming around the corner on a first scoring pass while Hamburger Buns waits in the penalty box. And Crashandra is through for 4 points. Hamburger is standing in the penalty box. Rolla Rockets getting ready for Amber to come out of the penalty box. Crashandra almost out, takes a huge hit from Misadventure. It was a big hit.
That was good.
Yeah, it was real good. And Crashandra is, Ed also taking a star pass and gets pushed out to the outside, and Crashandra calls the jam, but the damage was done with 8 more points for Rolla Rocket, bringing them to an 18-0 lead as we get ready for the next jam.
Sometimes that's what happens when you make the big hit. You get rewarded by getting handed the star.
Right? You get rewarded. Here's a star. Mr. Bruce Guy says, loves seeing Coach Rogue on the Cornfed bench. You know, this is a lot of people's last whatever with Cornfed, so this is Rogue's last time coaching with Cornfed, coaching alongside JJ and One Hit Wanda. And then Ed, who we just saw take a star pass, this is Ed's last tournament, as Ed will be moving to Colorado after the season is over. There's a lot of people, this is their last game. It's Ivy's last game. I think Bennett is retiring after this, and Ego is also moving to Colorado. Coincidentally, Ego and Ed are moving to Colorado. Not coincidentally, they're married. So
not much coincidence.
Not much coincidence there. Calamity Jane is lead jammer and in scoring position right now. Trekkie Monster from Rolla Rockets is getting pulled to the back by US Amy. Calamity Jane has scored 8 points, coming in on a third scoring pass. Trekkie Monster has made it through as Calamity Jane comes in on a third scoring pass, trying to do some damage to this early lead that Rolla Rockets have established. Trekkie Monster coming around on, but will not be able to score any points. Cornfed was able to pick up a couple more, 3 more.
It's taunting us.
Trekkie Monster. Why do you have a question mark after Trekkie Monster? First of all, Trekkie Monster is a monster in Avenue Q, but it also could have something to do with Star Trek. This is my Broadway musical knowledge coming out here, Eric, as
I'm
you
lost.
shake your head at me.
Nope.
You don't know who Trekkie Monster is?
Nope.
It's one of the puppets in Avenue Q.
I mean, I've heard of that.
Are you sure you've heard of that?
Yeah. I've heard a couple of the songs from it because it's a very adult puppet show. I know that.
Yes, it's very adult. It is inappropriate.
Yeah.
Mad Catter jamming for Cornfed, but it is Boom who's pulling that pack out to the front. Nice bridging done there by Cornfed to hold Boom as long as they can. Mad Catter's being sent to the penalty box. So this is now a power jam for Rolla Rockets. And Boom has gotten through for 4 points while Mad Catter Boom is coming around on another scoring pass. Boom's up against Polly, doing some one-on-one blocking. Polly and Lav working together. And Boom calls that jam for reezing Mad Catter in the penalty box. All right, so this is going to be a power jam for Rolla Rockets. How are we doing on lead percentages?
I mean, at this point, everybody's jammed pretty much, once. We're on jam 5. We're
Jam 5?
We're starting
No
over
trends?
We're starting over the jam rotation.
Oh, points, my friend. Cup of TNT out as lead jammer. Do I have to say it with? I don't do an English accent. A cup of TNT. No,
A cuppa?
I can't do it. A cuppa.
A cuppa.
A cuppa. A cup of TNT. Oh, beautiful toss-ups on the inside line to get through to grab 4 points. Mad Catter is out of the box and being pulled to the back by Strawberry Knockout. That's a fun name. And the star has him passed to Ed. Misadventure is going to force that call off as Cup of TNT will call that jam off after scoring 8 points. Megan says, what's a beautiful bridge?
I mean, you could, if you really want to start the Civil War, you could just be like, do you put your milk into your tea or your tea into your milk?
Well, Cup of TNT, if I remember correctly, works at like an excavation site or has something to do with explosives. Her job has something to do with explosives, if I remember from last year, and I just think that's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Because she's English and works with explosives. Cup of TNT. It's the best. And Cup of TNT's husband is also reffing Dig Dug at this tournament this weekend, so also volunteering. Nice. I love couples who derby together, right?
Yeah.
Right, Sirius? And Eric and Angel, your wife also does a lot of derby things with you.
A lot.
Amy is jamming for Cornfed. Trekkie Monster is lead jammer. Bruce Guy, I'm glad that you knew Trekkie was from Avenue Q because it is a little bit of a niche knowledge, so I love that we both knew it. Okay, Trekkie is through for 4 points. The star was passed to Dragon Ball Z, who is now the jammer for Cornfed, almost avoiding a hit to slow Dragon Ball Z down. Trekkie Monster is out with another 4 points, bringing that total to 8. Oh yeah, Purple, you and Cannon fodder. Cannon is out here somewhere for photographing. 12 points total for Trekkie Monster. Dragon Ball Z still trying to find any sort of space, takes a hit to the inside and is being pulled back. Trekkie Monster through, bringing that total to 16 for Rolla Rockets.
Angel says she does stuff in derby because it keeps her busy.
Yeah.
She couldn't just watch. She gets too anxious, so she's got something to focus on. So she usually PLTs. She likes doing that. So.
Well, in a couple weeks, we're going to be at a juniors regional, and she's got a big part in that.
Yes, she is our regional coordinator.
Yes. We're looking forward to being there. Another tournament 2 weeks from now.
Not as many games, though.
No. We are gluttons for punishment. And Dragon Ball Z was able to make it out. But the damage was done. 20 points for Rolla Rockets in that jam, bringing them to 53. Cornfed at 11.
I'm waiting for somebody to break the 20-point barrier today.
Phoenix is Sinister's mom. Wait, really? I love that. Let's see. Sinister, number 666. We know what that means. And Phoenix.
Nothing really.
Nothing really.
Here, you want to know an interesting fact if you want to go that way? I did look at the number frequency of players in this tournament.
The number frequency of players?
The most common number at this tournament is number 9. There's 4 of those. But it just so happens that there are 3 666s.
There are 3 666s.
I want to get all 3 of them together and do the triple 3 666 thing tournament. Or picture, get them together.
So there's 9 6s altogether. And it's a palindrome, Eric.
Yeah.
Calamity Jane jamming for Cornfed. And Crashandra Burns for Rolla Rocket.
Yeah, it is.
Mr. Bruce Guy is wanting me to sing again. He's got a line from Avenue Q that makes me want to break out in song, but I won't, because if I sing that, I will sing the whole musical, and you guys do not want that. So I'm not even going to start. Sirius is over here laughing or nodding emphatically, like do not get Aria started on musicals.
I do understand what that means. I do know that reference.
You know that?
I told you I've heard a couple of the songs.
Can you sing it?
I'm not going to.
All right, Crashandra Burns getting pulled all the way to the back by Pure Polly and going to be dealing with 4 blockers. Calamity Jane is on her own at the front trying to push past these last 2 blockers. It's able to do so to get 4 points for Cornfed. Crash Burns was able to get through that pack. CJ calls it, and that's the jam. 8 points scored for Cornfed. Wait, I'm looking for Phoenix. I don't see Phoenix on the roster. I'm guessing Phoenix is another player from Rolla Rockets. We're going to find out. Coach, maybe? Or maybe somebody has multiple names. I don't know. It's Boom? What? Oh, more Dynamite stuff. I think, I think they work together, and Rolla Rockets is in a town where there's something with explosives that happens. So that's why you see some of these names. Can you tell me, Eric, how many 42s there are in this tournament? Because that was my number. And Misadventure on the, getting those jammers close to the line and pushing them out. Mad Catter being sent to the penalty box for Cornfed. Boom still eligible, I believe, for lead jammer.
They're exactly 0.
Oh, Phoenix is a ref with the ref and skater. Okay, 911. Phoenix the ref is Sinister's mom. Love it.
So apparently you're the only 42 in the building this weekend.
I'm the only 42 in the building? That's good. I am very, very proud of my number. It's mine. And it's only mine this weekend. Wow, that's actually surprising. There's usually a 42 on most teams.
420 and a 542 and a 142. A few other kind of variations, but
so
not
the
just
most
42.
common is number 9.
Number 9. There's
number
4
9.
of those.
Which we got US Amy is the number 9 for Cornfed, and we do not have a number 9 on Rolla.
Nope.
I love that you did research on who was the most frequent number.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Just being a nerd.
I love it. That's why you're my stats guy. But you don't have any stats yet because we're only in Jam 8. So I'm guessing no good stats for this game yet.
Kind of slow.
Sinister, speaking of, Sinister is jamming for Rolla Rockets while Mad Catter waits in the penalty box. Sinister is your lead jammer for Rolla Rockets. Mad Catter is out and through. Sinister approaching the pack on a first scoring pass, runs into Dragon Ball Z. Should I say Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Z? Because that's how it's kind of spelled.
I would go with the latter. I think
Dragon
that's
Ball Z?
the way she,
Well, because you're kind of ballsy, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the point.
So I know that I'm not singing the whole musical, but I think Mr. Brood's guy is back at home.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's a really good musical. Just saying. But not appropriate for children,
No.
even though there's puppets.
No, it's not.
It is very inappropriate for children, so don't do that. Okay. We're getting into Jam 10. We are halfway through the first half. US Amy jamming for Cornfed. Oh, I love watching Amy hit people. Getting through Bon Appetit and getting lead jammer for Cornfed while Sinister waits in the penalty box. Amy coming around on a first scoring pass, asking for some offensive help, getting it and getting through for 4 points. Sinister is standing in the penalty box. US Amy approaching the pack. In the pack on a second scoring pass. Sinister is out of the penalty box.
Yeah.
US Amy taking a hit to the inside. Sinister took the long way around after coming out of the penalty box.
A number of people have done
I think
that
people
here.
get so used to doing derby direction, and they also don't want to accidentally run into a ref, but the pack was right by the penalty box, and Sinister took the... But maybe some people like to have more of a long lead-up before they hit a pack. Sinister was able to get through, but a track cut was assessed to US Amy, so this will be now a power jam for Rolla Rockets while Amy waits in the penalty box for 30 seconds. This is going to be a 2-minute jam.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, different musical.
I think a lot of people come out of that box and do it this way because the benches are at the end instead of along the side, which is different.
You think?
Yeah.
They're just so used to going one direction.
I think it's just coming in from that different angle instead of the benches being on the side of the track or right here next to the starting box.
Bones Appetit is the jammer for Rolla Rockets. 8 points having been scored so far. by Rolla Rockets in this jam. US Amy has scored 4, and that jam comes to its natural conclusion. 13 minutes left in this first half. Don't forget, we will be voting for our skater of the game after halftime. If you have anybody you would like us to consider as one of the blockers or jammers that gets nominated by Eric and I, you can give us your appeal.
I can be bribed.
You can be bribed by super chats.
For the right amount of super chats.
The right amount of super chats. Yeah, you super chats your skaters, and we might be able to be bribed. Calamity Jane coming out with that lead jammer for Cornfed. Trekkie Monster jamming for Rolla Rockets. I don't remember Trekkie Monster from last year because I would have remembered that name. So Trekkie must be new. Trekkie is through. Calamity Jane, meanwhile, is in the pack on a scoring pass as Trekkie comes around. Calamity finding space on the inside. And was called on a forearm and is heading to the penalty box. So this will be another 2-minute jam. Cornfed going to be wanting to watch those penalties as this game continues because they keep getting some momentum and going to the penalty box.
Yeah. It's just a killer.
It is. It is. I think this game would be a lot closer right now if we had avoided the penalty box, especially by the jammers. What are you pointing at? Palindrome? Ha!
Oh, there we go.
72-27. You are not getting it appropriately excited for the palindrome. If you're going to be here on Derby Date Night, woo. Woo. He's just staring at me.
I have to be careful. If I get appropriately excited, you might not. They might demonetize this.
You can get appropriately excited, not inappropriately excited. Well, Trekkie Monster just ruined the palindrome. It is now 76-27.
See, it's such a short-lived.
But it's an excitement while it's there. Goldie Sock saw it too. It's like a shooting star. See, you got to go ooh, and then it's gone. Look at that blocking right there. That was beautiful by Ed and Shred to hold
Somebody's
Trekkie
going
Monster.
to the box.
Who's
I don't
going
know which
to the
one.
box? Is it Trekkie Monster?
The black jammer is going to the box.
And that jam came to its natural conclusion, so Cornfed is going to start this next jam as a power jam.
Yeah, Trekkie went to the box on the forearm right here at the end.
Yep, forearm right at the end. And Ed is in the box as pivot. You're going to have to – this might be the most interesting halftime, you going and collecting what's happening with the penalties.
Yeah.
Because this has been a low penalty day up until now, Cornfed Host League.
Timeout, Cornfed.
Why are you bringing out all the drinks, Serious?
Because it's time for some jokes.
You need caffeine? Oh, yeah. You ready? Okay, so the jokes.
Back to normal.
For those of you who are new, we have what's it called? We have good derby and bad jokes. So during breaks, I get to tell jokes, and you get to either laugh at them or groan at them, whatever you choose. This is not really a farm joke. I mean, I guess you grow tomatoes on a farm, right?
Sure.
Like, so a tomato joke can be a farm joke. But why did the tomato blush? Because he saw the salad dressing? That's such an old joke.
That is old.
That's like the oldest joke in the book. Why shouldn't you tell a secret on a farm?
Because the potatoes have eyes.
And the corn has ears.
Oh, there we go. I was halfway there.
Yeah, you got half of it. What do potatoes hate the most? What day do potatoes hate the most? What day of the week? Fry day. Yeah, because they're a French fry. Okay, I don't know why I made that noise. Oh, you're right. It's game 4.
Uh-huh. Commit to the bit. Let's do this.
Game 4, I'm already. But somebody said it's after game 4 that I really lose it. We're almost to halftime. Amy jamming for Cornfed. Taking a push to the outside by Ferocious Dimples in this power jam. That is the cutest name ever, Ferocious Dimples. Amy trying to get past Cup of TNT. Is almost out. Takes a little bit of a tumble as the pack is going to reform around Amy. Ed is out of the box. Trekkie Monster is standing. Have we crossed the river? Are we still in the current joke? No, we've crossed the river, guys. We're back to the farm.
Made it back.
No, Did I cross the river? I crossed the river to the farm. What?
All I know is at some point in time we jumped a shark. A long time ago.
I love that Mr. Ironham is telling jokes that have nothing to do with any of the themes we've been talking about. Just jokes. Because Mr. Ironham is going to go full in on dad jokes.
There you go.
And this one, I've been thinking about taking up meditation. I figure it's better than sitting around doing nothing. No, it's not. It's the same thing, Mr. Ironham. Meditation. It's so weird meditating. I've tried before. Doesn't work for me. I cannot do the whole emptying your mind thing because my mouth just keeps going and going. That's why I'm doing this, Sirius says. Okay, anyway, Crashandra Burns and Calamity Jane jamming for their respective teams. Calamity trying to pull to the front and is able to become lead jammer, but Crashandra Burns is racing out of the pack behind Calamity Jane, and these two jammers are going to race to the pack. Woo! They're literally hitting the pack at almost the same time. I don't think Calamity got any points there, and I think Crash did. Ironham says, I'm from the Peanut Gallery.
I like that.
I like that. The Peanut Gallery dad jokes. Is he Statler and Waldorf? Yeah, which one are you, Statler or Waldorf? You know the reference, right, Eric? You're looking at me like
Muppets?
you don't. Yeah.
Oh, trust me, yes. I'm old, remember?
Mr. Bruce Guy's moving on to Oregon Trail.
I grew up on this. We could do that, too.
Yeah. No, we can't. This is the farm. We're in the Smalltown Smackdown. Why are you making rules? This is my channel. Who is that jamming? They are doing great. Boom. But Polly is a hard one to get past, and that one-on-one blocking that Polly was doing managed to hold Boom for a while as the pack came and reformed around. Hamburger Buns jamming for Cornfed is taking that star off as Boom comes around on a first scoring pass. Polly has taken the star. Polly is really great at taking a star pass. I mean, Polly always knows how to be in the right position and be able to take it and be able to just sneak out of the pack. And it looks like Polly is going to get to be a jammer for a while.
Oh, for a good long
because
while.
This is a power jam. As Boom waits in the penalty box, Polly has grabbed 4 points, and Polly, who is not a jammer, is going to be jamming for the next minute. Why are you laughing?
After her first scoring pass, she came around the corner and was like, "Oh, here we go! I have to go do this. This is going to be great."
Face. It's like, "Oh God, I'm a jammer now." Yeah, Polly. I love it when pivots take that star and just get those points.
Pivot's worst nightmare, right there.
Right. I was a pivot. We all know that I Michael, you missed some roller derby and some river jokes. We went off the deep end for a while and talked about rivers. All right, Boom is out of the penalty box and chasing down Polly, who has scored 12 points for Cornfed. I think Polly is the highest scoring jammer for Cornfed so far.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You know what? I bet maybe they should tell Polly she's jamming from now on. Polly would be like, no, thank you. Did Polly ever jam for you when you coached Polly?
For PCs on rare occasion.
Rare occasion. She's not doing too bad here. Looking pretty good. Boom is through for 4 points.
There she looked at the clock and was like, 5 seconds. I'll just see what I can do here.
And guess who's here? The party is now started. Carl from Australia is done with work and ready to come join the party. Carl, you've missed 3 fabulous games. You're going to enjoy the rewatch. We have been on for 7 hours so far. Does that mean we're halfway through? After this half, we will be halfway through the day, Eric.
Yep.
That doesn't feel too bad.
No.
Yeah, we're good. We're doing great. The pivot regret. Yes. KTG, here to root for Cornfed. I think KTG was one of our very first members we ever had. Ed putting that star on and jamming and getting lead jammer. Trekkie Monster chasing down Misadventure. Misadventure with a spin. Calling that jam off. Did Misadventure grab any points there is the question. No, it doesn't look like. Oh, wait. Who got points? Rolla Rockets got points.
Yeah.
Oh.
I still like the fact that Goldie and Bruce are still fighting over who's got the #1 crown.
Well,
it just bounces back and forth.
Yeah, it just bounces back and forth. Carl says, I just turned this on and already my team is losing. But Carl, you're here now, which means maybe the luck will turn around.
Timeout, Rolla Rockets.
Timeout, Rolla Rockets, which means we're on the farm here at the Smalltown Smackdown. I can do a country accent.
Well, let's take the tractor back on over.
There, yeah, the tractor. Okay.
He's got his earpieces out. It's probably good. It's probably really good that he can't hear us real good right now.
What new crop do you think the farmer planted? Beats me.
Oh, jeez.
You actually laughed at that? Serious?
That's pretty good.
He goes, yeah. What do farmers use to make crop circles? A protractor.
Oh, there you go. There we go.
Okay, Sirius is laughing so hard right now. Seriously?
There we go.
You liked that one,
It's
didn't
almost
you?
halftime of Game 4. So.
Almost halftime of Game 4. And Eric, as our stats guy, you're going to go get some penalty information during halftime, which is only 5 minutes away. And I also think it's going to be interesting as we continue in this tournament for you to kind of let us know how teams have changed things up and, you know, what differences you're seeing from game to game. So we're about to get some information from Throb Zombie. No, we're not. Oh. That was like a, what's it called when you almost give somebody something and you take it away? What's a tease? No, it's called something. The chat will know. The chat will know. Shorty, lead jammer for Rolla Rockets. Calamity Jane getting a no pack called, which means the blockers who chased Calamity cannot hit Calamity when they hear that no pack. So Calamity was able to get out. Shorty in the pack trying to do the call off. Shorty also has that call off where you touch the head first and then go to the hips.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that as a coach? That kind of a call off. Does it make a difference?
Start at your hips, go real fast. You can get those 2 taps in quickly. And then if they don't see it, you start making it bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's when you start calling for the, also asking, you know, you can say the calling thing. As long as you're not a jerk about it.
Okay, Mr. Iron Ham, just because I shamed you for the fact that your jokes were not on theme does not mean that you should do a themed joke. But Mr. Iron Ham did just give us an on-theme joke. What is a sheep's favorite game? Badminton. Okay. Oh my gosh. Platide. Somebody's going to have to help me with how to say this. Diabla is lead jammer. Who's jamming for Cornfed? Well, Mad Catter has the star. It was Ed. Yep. Mad Catter took the star. And looks like that jam got called by Shorty. Diabla Platita?
Platita? Yeah, Platita. I don't know.
Platita, potato. Is that what you just said?
Potato. You know.
Mr. Iron Ham says, I do what I'm told. The shame was also respect, Mr. Iron Ham. You do you. We encourage you to be yourself. But we also like your farm jokes. But if you tell too many farm jokes, then you're going to step on my toes. I was trying to make that farmy somehow, but didn't. Boom is out as lead jammer for Rolla Rockets. Calamity Jane trying to find space. Is stuck behind a tripod, trying to pull that tripod apart at the front. Nice forwards recycling being done by Rolla to hold Calamity, but Calamity is able to get out. And Boom sees Calamity coming and calls the jam. All right, we have 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in this first half. We will be bringing up the Skater of the Game poll at the beginning of the second half. If you have somebody you really want us to consider as the jammer or blocker of the game, only one person gets to have that Derby Date Night exclusive sticker, the coveted Derby Date Night Skater of the Game sticker.
I want one so bad.
Mr. Iron Ham, I'm confusing him. He's like, farm jokes or not farm jokes? You stick with your dad jokes, Mr. Iron Ham. That's what we love from you.
Yep.
He's like, I'm over here in the kitchen, just trying to help in the kitchen and help in the chat. Misadventure is your lead jammer, followed closely behind by Trekkie Monster. Zaddy, come back if you miss it. Go Cornfed, y'all got this. We love having you here. We would love to see you back on the track next season. Purple Fury's enjoying Pure Polly and Debbie as the blockers for Cornfed. Rolla at 105, having passed that century mark. Cornfed at 47. Quick break for track repair.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yep.
They were trying to give him they were trying to watch him and see if they could get it down fast enough they could just restart.
I think they had to relay that entire piece of tape. So. Yeah. Go Purple Fury. Purple Fury, who's also in the chat, and I'm rooting for Purple Fury doing track repair. Everybody's doing a great job. There's so many volunteers this weekend too. It's such a great tournament every year, and everybody like chips in to make this thing happen. Our fun, corny little B team tournament that we just love every year.
It is so much fun.
Sev will be back once nursing school. So, okay, fair. Nursing school and derby might not mix too well. Totally not catching up at work. Well, we will love to see you back out on track. All right, Hamburger Buns jamming for Cornfed and Creschandra Burns for Rolla Rockets. Creschandra Burns finding a bunch of blockers. Hamburger Buns getting pushed to the outside. Creschandra Burns finds space at the front and becomes lead jammer. Hamburger Buns taking off that star. Tried to pass the star while out of bounds, but realized she was out of bounds, I think, because the ref whistled and then changed their mind because the star, she stopped. Because you cannot pass the star when you are out. You have to be upright and in bounds in order to pass the star.
Correct.
So the star has now been passed to US Amy, who is now the jammer for Cornfed as Creschandra Burns comes into the pack on a second scoring pass. Yes, Michael Kwan, Rolla, Missouri. Home of can you find out what the explosive stuff is that they have? Like a lot of them work at the plant. Eric is also my research guy.
Sure.
You think it's a university? Oh, Boom 1.1, highest class for explosives. Boom did college work in explosives engineering, hence Boom 1.11. Oh, I love it. And Cup of TNT works with Boom, right, Steve? And also does stuff with explosives. I guess explosives engineering is big in Rolla. It's the college, right?
Yeah, it's a hub for mining, engineering, education, and research at Missouri S&T.
Oh, cool. Oh, it's halftime. I'm like just continuing to talk. Okay, Missouri University of Science and Technology.
Yep.
Nice. All right, well, while we go think about explosives, we'll be back with the second half of this game in just a little bit here on Derby Date Night.
Welcome back to Derby Date Night. Here we are as usual at the Smalltown Smackdown. We're going to go over a little bit of penalty action from the first half of this game. It was fairly low. It's nice to see. I like people staying out of the box. Rolla only has, geez, what are they only? 6 penalties, maybe? 8? Not very much. That's pretty good. Cornfed has a few. It looks like Amberger's in a little bit of trouble. She's got 4 already. But we're back to the action already. Ed out on lead. But Cup of TNT right behind. Oh, I love the call. Love the call from the ground. I love it.
I'm almost done typing in the people that we've nominated for Skater of the Game.
4-3.
Once I make this live, you will have until 5 minutes left in the game to vote for one of these 4 people as your Skater of the Game, and they will be receiving a sticker that is a Derby Date Night Skater of the Game sticker, which is becoming incredibly coveted. I've had multiple skaters come to me saying, how can I get one of those stickers? And I said, you only got 3 chances this weekend because there are 3 games. So here is our next nominees for Skater of the Game. 1 blocker and 1 jammer from each team. And boom, one of the nominees is out as lead jammer, and Pure Polly, I was right, they were going to make Polly Jam, who's also nominated for Skater of the Game, is right behind Boom. Boom takes a hit to the inside. Pure Polly able to take advantage of the fact that Rolla's team all just pretty much went to the penalty box, and Polly was able to, look, there's nobody out on the track. There's literally.
Yeah, it's a little quiet out there right now.
Oh. Where is everybody's in the box right now? This is silly. The jammers are just going to go in circles. Great idea.
They called a no pack, and everybody just stood there and watched it for a second. Right. It happens. It happens.
Yes, Carl, we are still going, and we have got so many more games to play today. Boom calls it, but I think Polly outscored Boom on that one, 12-8, bringing Cornfed to 63. I'm so proud of myself for guessing that they were going to make Polly jam more.
Almost like you know something about Derby.
Mm-hmm. Brittany says that she's really impressed with the live stream. Thank you for having this available. You are so welcome. We love bringing it to you. We bring you good Derby and bad jokes here at Derby Date Night. And this weekend, we're going to be live for 12 games, and we are in game 4 of 12 games in the next 2 days. So since we're here in this tournament, we've got a lot of teams from the Midwest, and we've also got Team Philippines, which is a no borders team, so they come from all over the place. Where are you watching from as you watch this tournament?
That's a good question.
I always love to hear that. Yeah, I love to hear where people are watching from. I know Carl's watching from Australia. It's okay, Carl. We have so much more Derby. Do not worry. Wait, will we be on when Carl's done with work? Probably not.
Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. We're on a lot in the next 2 days. Don't worry. Mr. Bruce Guy, you are the nicest people, too. He called us the nicest people. Eric, I don't think that counts you because you're a guest.
No, he knows me better than that. I have a reputation to uphold.
Yes, of course. All right. The penalty box is kind of a little bit cleared out with only 1 Rolla Rockets player in there now, as we've got Trekkie Monster jamming for Rolla and Dragon Ball Z for Cornfed. Trekkie Monster is through and will be lead jammer. Dragon Ball Z is trying to find some space up against a tripod of blockers. Trekkie taking a hit to the inside from Lavender Menace, who's going to pull Trekkie Monster back to the back of the pack and slow things down as Dragon Ball Z is still working against that tripod up at the front. Up against Cup of TNT. Dragon Ball Z is able to get out. Goldie is St. Louis, Missouri. Goldie, see, we almost got one of your teams, Rolla Rockets. They're from somewhere in Missouri. Probably, I don't know if they're close to you or not. St. James, Missouri, Becky. And Mr. Bruce Guy, not telling us where he's watching from, just saying that Eric has to put up with you. Rochelle is watching from California. Mr. Ironham is from the kitchen next door. I think you might win for the closest Although Purple Fury is literally right in front of us and I think has been watching. So
yeah,
Purple might win. From my freezing cold bedroom in Canberra. -1 Celsius. Ooh. And Misadventures lead jammer for Cornfed, but Crashandra Burns is going to be chasing down Misadventure. Both jammers hitting the pack. Ed juking to the inside. That crowd is excited here. Ivy Brusinia pulling. Yeah. Crashandra Burns back, and Crashandra just kind of decided to cut in front of Ivy. Did Crashandra not see Ivy?
I think the ref looked.
Oh.
She blew the whistle and pointed, but then checked with the other referee, so the player she cut was out of play.
So maybe whatever happened, yeah.
So it wasn't a track cut.
Okay.
She was going to call the referee was going to call the track cut, but then, like I said, consulted the other ref real quick and was like, nope, they're out of play. It's a smart jammer, though. If you hear that out of play, you're free to go back in.
That is very true. Listening for that out of play. Amanda's watching from Rolla, Missouri. I wonder why.
Carl just needs to bug us in February when it's,
I know, Carl's going to be the happy one.
Even in Celsius, it's like 10 or 20 below here, but it's summer down there. So.
Yeah. In the winter is when Carl gets the nice weather in Australia. All right, Cornfed, 70 points. Rolla Rockets, 136. Sinister is jamming against Calamity Jane. Sinister pulling the pack to the front. Everybody's all kind of bunched up in there. Calamity is pulling towards the front. Cup of TNT is doing some one-on-one blocking. Calamity continuing to push. Cup of TNT, great one-on-one blocking here. Working real hard to not get a directional. Sinister takes advantage of that and grabs lead jammer. Calamity still pushing up against Cup of TNT, who has just locked her shoulder into Calamity Jane. Holy crud. CJ taking a hit to the inside from Cup of TNT, who is going to pull Calamity 20 feet behind the pack. Oh, that is rough.
And all that
Sinister through for 4 points for Rolla Rockets. I know, it's like all the work that just happened. Ugh. CJ finding that space and finally avoiding Cup of TNT to be able to get through. Cup of TNT gonna blow you up.
That was a jammer face.
Is it a sugar bomb when you get hit against Cup of TNT?
That was a heck of a jammer face when she came around. That was the
jammer.
Oh my God! I finally get through, and now they're going to call it anyway. But
yep, Waynesville, Missouri. Amanda said last year I spent my time in the box. The box is an okay place to spend time sometimes. You can only go there 6 times in a game, though. If you go 7, you're done. I don't think we've had anybody foul out yet.
Nope.
Nah, knock on plastic.
Like I said, we have 1 at 4 in this game at halftime. There was
and I haven't
one
seen Hamburger jamming.
Yeah.
I think they know that Hamburger is at 4. Boom and Pure Poly are jamming for their respective teams. Boom is through at the front and will be lead jammer. Poly, meanwhile, getting stuck by those ferocious dimples at the back. Poly able to find that space and get through. But Boom has scored 4 points and is now being chased down by Poly. We should call Poly the reluctant jammer.
True.
But she's doing very well.
I mean, Poly will do whatever you tell her to do.
Yeah.
But I know she's not ecstatic. She's not going to be the first person in line when you're like, who wants to jam?
But if I was coaching, I might be like, Poly, I think you're a jammer now. Mm-hmm. Let's just focus on jamming skill. Because Poly's a great blocker, always has been. But being able to do this dual duty here is great. All right, getting ready for our next jam. Rolla at 146, Cornfed at 70. And we have 3 more games after this game. Hey, we're past halfway, Eric.
We are.
We got this. Ballsy coming forward, coming through, grabbing lead jammer. Shorty getting out as well, but about half a track behind here. Ballsy is coming to the pack, and Shorty is racing right behind Ballsy. Nice hit by Ivy to the inside. to protect some of those Cornfed points and does not score any points, but Cornfed was able to grab 2. It wasn't Pure Polly that was the jammer because I wanted to say a pocket full of points with a couple points, but it wasn't Polly that was jamming, so. Barbarian on the line for Cornfed for the first time in this game. And a timeout is being called by Rolla Rockets, which means we get to go back on the farm for some farming jokes. Let's see what I got. Okay, I get it. It just took me a second. The internet connection at my farm was really poor, so I moved the modem to the barn. You know what I have now? Stable Wi-Fi.
So bad.
Because it's in a stable. No.
No.
Sirius smiled.
I'm still smiling. I'm still shaking my head, but I'm still smiling.
Did you hear about the wooden tractor? It had wooden wheels, wooden engine, wooden transmission, and it wouldn't work.
That was better. We're getting there.
That was a good one. All right, one more, because this one's fun. Did you hear about the magic tractor? It turned into a field. That's a play on words. Yeah, that's what that was. Okay, yes, it's true. After halftime of game 4, that's when I lose it. I'm a pumpkin. Wait, so my Cinderella thingy has turned into a pumpkin. Is that what you're saying? Mr. Ironham, what happens when it rains cats and dogs? You got to be careful not to step in a poodle. That joke has a different, it feels different now that I have a golden doodle, because I don't want you to step in a doodle, because I got a doodle poodle.
Black requested a track penalty on the jammer at the end as they called it off. They re-entered the track and were straddling the track as they called it off. We just determined that yes, that did happen. We are issuing a track penalty. They will retain their official review.
Thank you very much. All right, that official review was called by Rolla Rockets. They believed that the jammer was straddling the track when they called it off, and were requesting that jammer to go to the box. And as you can see, that jammer is in the box, so the refs did determine that that happened, and somebody came and told us already. Thank you so much. And so Rolla Rockets will start this next jam as a power jam, and they will retain their official review. Aria, what do you have when your grain is stuck in the container? I don't know where the answer is.
It's coming.
Diabla Power Jam, somebody said. So I'm guessing that Diabla is currently jamming.
Yep.
Got pulled back there. Pure Polly with that hit out and the pullback. Polly and Amy working together. They are trying to neutralize this power jam. Dragon Ball Z is standing in the penalty box, and Diabla is trying to get that lead jammer status before Dragon Ball Z can come out. Cornfed is doing a great job with the holding. Oh, that looked painful. Pure Polly getting a penalty, a direction for that one.
Yep.
And Dragon Ball Z comes out of the box and becomes lead jammer. Nice work there, Cornfed. That was some. I feel like Cornfed is finally starting to focus.
Yeah,
like the first half, they that was one of the better jams I've seen Cornfed working together to really hold the jammer. Oh no, Diabla just got a penalty and will be going to the box for Rolla. So this will be a power jam for Cornfed and Dragon Ball Z. Is she still skating on the track?
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a second penalty. Was she not aware she got the penalty?
Yeah, they got her.
Is it 2 penalties?
No, because I think because it's a tournament, they're not trying to go super harsh on some of that.
And I don't think she knew she had the penalty either. All right, Dragon Ball Z in the pack on this power jam. has already scored 4 points, working to score some more. Everybody said ouch with that hit. That was ouch.
Yeah.
That was an ouch, yep.
And unnecessary.
Okay, now I get the punchline from Michael, but I didn't remember the question. So what do you have when your grain is stuck in the container? Hard pour corn? No! I'm not saying that! No! You almost, no. No, no.
I was waiting for you to read that. I was like, you're not going to read that. There's
Stop
no
laughing.
way you're going to read that.
Stop laughing. Everybody, just forget that happened. Carl, the corn cob doing fist pumps off the track is ego, and ego is those fist pumps mean power jam. So whenever the other jammer goes to the track, that is the signal for we have a power jam. So the jammer knows that there is a power jam happening and they do not have another jammer on the track with them. Calamity Jane is currently lead jammer while Diablo waits in the penalty box. Michael Kwan said so close. You almost got me to read the whole thing. I stopped. I'm watching you, Michael Kwan. That sounded like Roz from Monsters, Inc. Always watching. I'm watching you, Michael Kwan. Sirius is literally losing it right now. The only impression I can actually do is Roz from Monsters, Inc.
Should do a whole jam as Roz, just to watch it. Yeah, last game.
The last game will just be me doing Roz.
Don't do it in the championship game. Do it in the 11th game, the 3rd and 4th place game.
Oh, CJ has scored 4 points, trying to score 4 more, but Shorty pushes CJ out and pulls CJ all the way to the back. Diablo managing to be back in the track. Did Diablo already do their first? So this is a scoring pass. Nice hit out by Lav.
I don't think so.
Bringing Diablo back. You don't think so?
No, because Diablo got 2 penalties.
I think Gio was holding.
They called the second penalty because she didn't stand up till 50 seconds.
Is the back block on Diablo? Oh no!
Not again.
Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, Diablo. I hate to see that sometimes because now Diablo's going to be in the box for the 3rd jam in a row. I wonder how many penalties Diablo's at. Was Diablo at a lot at halftime?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I can look real quick. Which one is she? 16.
Mr. Bruce Guy thinks it's too early for you to actually crack up. No, he's a cracked egg.
No, Diablo had 0 penalties at halftime.
0? Okay, so probably not getting close to that 7. Oh, what happened? What are all those whistles for? Barbarian jamming for Cornfed. Cup of TNT got a penalty. Does Barbarian know that? Yes, Barbarian was aware. If the person who pushed you out gets a penalty, then you get to keep going. So Barbarian will be lead jammer while Diablo waits in the penalty box. Barbarian coming around on a first scoring jam. Amanda is cheering for Diablo, who is standing in the penalty box. You got this, Diablo, is what Amanda is saying. Yes, Carl, it is a big crowd today. It's really great having all these people here. It's starting to get a little hotter. It was cold this morning, but now I'm getting hot.
Yeah.
Barb is through for another 4 points, bringing Cornfed's total to 96. 1 minute and 12 seconds left in this jam. I wonder if Cornfed's going to break the 100 mark here. Do you notice how Cornfed is this score is kind of starting to turn around a little bit.
Back a little bit, yep.
I don't know if you're doing stats on points per half, but I feel like Cornfed has scored more in this half, compared to what, the differential between them.
Well, Rolla also has a short roster as well. They're one of those teams that came with a short roster, so I think this is starting to get.
1, 2, 3.
I think a little exhaustion is starting to set in.
And they literally brought 15 people, so they are not. Nobody is going to be sitting. Nobody's going to be resting. These 15 are the 15 that they have. At the learner, Amy with a nice hit out on Cup of TNT who is coming back. Barbarian has scored 12 points. Takes a hit out. Everyone was screaming at Barb to go. Spinelli, one of our skaters, literally got on the floor, was yelling so loud, and then looks at me and goes, I tried. But Barb still managed to score 6. I know you were trying to save them, but they also scored 16 points in that jam, which is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm trying to calm the Cornfed skaters all around me down. Keep cheering. Yeah. It's helping. They're within how much now? They're within 42. That's my number. Did you? They're within my number. I love it. Okay, team timeout. I don't even know if I should. Oh, yeah, Abby was here earlier. Bloomington was down like this before they came up, and we ended with a tie score. Cornfed can do this. I mean, yep. Yes, Cornfed is my home team, but I really root the most for good derby. So I love the fact that Cornfed is starting to come back here. If they get a couple good jams in it, this could be anybody's game. We still have 13 minutes left.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes, Michael Kwan is since Abby is not here anymore. Abby will be back, but right now Michael Kwan is and Mr. Bruce Guy are my officials who are answering my questions. Rogue with the dancing. You know, I'm glad that Rogue is staying in the community that we film because I always need to have Rogue dancing. Debbie was like, Rogue, I gotta go. Rogue is tiny. All right, looks like we're getting ready to go again. Whew. Kids softball tournament got in your way from being there. Well, you can rep in black and yellow from there and cheer as loud as you want from the chat, and I will try and express your excitement to everyone out there. Or you could send a super chat and then they can see it because we'll put it up on the screen. All right. We got Boom and Dragon Ball Z jamming for their respective teams. Boom is lead. Cornfed coming back to help Dragon get through. Why did I say Dragon? I mean, I'm guessing she goes by Ballsy.
Yeah. Usually.
Okay, Boom through for 4 points. Ballsy is out. Is Boom going to run it or wait? Oh, no. Ballsy got a penalty. This will be a power jam. Yes, normally, Bruce, you are here in the building, and I know you're sad to be missing this, but it's for a good reason. You're going to Disney World, which is my favorite place in the whole wide world. Boom has scored 8 points, coming in to try and score 4 more. As we were talking about Cornfed making this comeback, Rolla is like, excuse me, Aria, shush.
Penalties. Penalties will do that
it's the penalties.
Yep.
The gosh darn penalties, yeah. Cornfed. Come on. You got this. Also, I think Alexa, she hasn't commented in a while, and I think maybe it's a superpower. And maybe they need Alexa to comment more. All right, another joke from Mr. Iron Ham with our dad jokes from the kitchen. I got in a fight with 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. The odds were against me. That's a good one. Okay, we got Trekkie Monster and Dragon Ball Z standing in the penalty box. Dragon Ball Z is out of the penalty box now. And lead has not yet been established as Dragon Ball Z is trying to push through. Dragon Ball Z is through. I love it when they come out of the penalty box and are able to get lead.
Oh, it's so good.
Trekkie Monster also able to find some space on the inside line.
It's a good testament to your walls.
We had more bad service, Alexa says, but I'm all caught up. You are not fishing until this game is over, Alexa says. I know, it's a good game. Great game. These teams are pretty evenly matched. And 2 points were scored there for Cornfed, bringing them to 107 with 11:22 left in the game. You have got 6 clock minutes to vote for your skater of the game. I will close that poll at 5 minutes left, and that skater will get a Derby Date Night sticker. Cup of TNT is currently winning and has already been like, how do I get one of those stickers? But there's some other great skaters out there that have done some great work. Pure Polly, Calamity Jane, and Boom are also in it for the skater of the game. As I'm saying that, Cup of TNT is like, I'm going to get lead jammer right now while you're talking about me so I can get the sticker. Calamity Jane is following Cup of TNT very closely, though. Cup of TNT hits the pack and hits her hips. Was able to score 1 point for Rolla. A mummy covered in chocolate and nuts has been discovered in Egypt. Archaeologists believe it may be Pharaoh Roche.
Pharaoh Rocher.
Pharaoh Rocher?
Pharaoh.
Like the chocolate?
Pharaoh, but that's
like the almond
the
thingy?
Pharaoh Rocher.
Oh, Pharaoh.
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 Like in Egypt.
Like an Egypt Pharaoh, not the. Got it.
There you go.
That I had to explain it way too much until it wasn't funny. Why are the uniforms confusing, Carl? The ones in black are Rolla, and the ones in white are Cornfed. Maybe it's confusing because I didn't tell you that. Krishandra Burns is not lead. That honor goes to Barbarian, but Krishandra is getting into the pack before Barbarian. Barbarian is trying to get some points here of their own and is hoping that Cornfed can hold Crash, which they are doing right now. Crash trying to juke to the inside, finding Hamburger Buns and Pure Polly, but is able to get through to grab 4 points for Rolla. Barb, still the lead jammer, does decide to call it. I think got a couple points at least there. Did they really manage to protect? Oh no, that she would. Barb did get all 4 points. Blah, 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 blah.
Mr. Ironham's quitting.
Mr. Ironham said, I quit because I didn't get the joke immediately, but Alexa says, you are rehired. Sorry, Mr. Ironham, you got a job to do in the kitchen. Kitchen stuff and jokes. Rolla Rockets are from Rolla, Missouri, Carl. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in, Mr. Ironham says. We always love your commentary. All right, lead jammer going to Boom from Rolla Rockets. Misadventure jamming for Cornfed. Boom is through for 4 points. That pack is all mushed up. Ed trying to pass to Creature, does so. Immediately runs into Cup and TNT. Boom in the pack on a second scoring pass. Creature trying to stay in bounds. Cup of TNT able to push Creature to the inside and pull Creature all the way back to the pivot line as Boom comes around on a scoring pass. 2 minutes left to vote for your skater of the game. If you haven't done so yet, I'll be closing that poll in 2 minutes. Boom through, has scored 12 points, and Creature got a penalty, so this is going to be a power jam for Rolla Rockets and Boom. Again, Eric, it's that trend. I think this would be a very different game if Cornfed had not had the number of penalties they've had.
Yeah, every time you start a comeback and you basically just bite yourself in the foot.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Boom calls the jam, freezing Creature in the penalty box. So Creature will remain jammer and will start this next jam as jammer. And Rolla Rockets will have a power jam.
Do you like how I saved that one?
Kimbo's back in the chat. What is she saying? How do you counter assault? Is this a joke?
Probably.
Probably. I don't know how you counter assault. Counter assault pepper? Counter assault.
I don't know. Carl's asking.
We're waiting. Trekkie Monster trying to take advantage of this power jam and become lead jammer before Creature comes out of the box, but is going to be stymied by Cornfed, who is going to push Trekkie Monster to the inside, and nice water falling back to get Trekkie Monster back as far as they can. Creature is standing in the penalty box. Trekkie Monster still trying to find that space, but is going to find Amy at the front. Amy's going to be holding Trekkie Monster. Creature out of the box. And Trekkie Monster just barely finds the space and becomes lead jammer as Creature almost snagging it. But it is going to be Trekkie Monster and rock and roll it. I was right. It was pepper. I was right. How do you counter assault? With the pepper. Oh, Kimbo, I adore you. Even if Eric doesn't. Eric just shrugged. Like,
nice.
what did I do? I'm catching strays, and I didn't even say anything. I'm just trying to start a fight between you and Kimbo, that's all.
We do that enough. We don't need your help.
I want Kimbo to love me the best.
You can have her.
You wouldn't just give her up that easily. Rolla has scored 3 points. Are we all standing? Why are we all just standing? Are we waiting for a jammer switcheroo?
No, it's waiting for the jam to start.
Oh, the jams.
Yep, it was right. Halftime of the 4th game. We're gone. That's all, folks.
Why are we not moving? Shorty is lead jammer for Rolla Rockets. It's about time. 5 minutes left. It's so close between Cup of TNT and Boom for skater of the game. Cup and TNT with 31%. Boom with 27%. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. I know the chat is on a 30-second delay, just in case there's anybody who hasn't voted yet. Kimbo says, hands down, I know who's my favorite. It's me, Eric. It's me.
Oh, I guarantee you. It should be.
Mr. Ironham says, if you get an email from me about canned meat, don't open it. It's spam. That goes with all the spam jokes we've been telling. Shorty has scored 8 points, coming around on another scoring pass. Calamity Jane has passed the star to Lavender. No, is that Lavender Menace? Yes, Lavender Menace now has the star for Cornfed. Shorty has scored 12 points. 57 seconds left in this jam. All right.
Don't read Michael's. I'm just telling you right now. I'm going to start censoring Michael.
Okay, thank you.
He's trying to get you to say it.
I'm not going to say it, Michael. Also, we try to be a family channel, and you know it. All right, I'm going to end the poll, and she is going to be so excited. Cup of TNT, who really wanted to earn one of those stickers. Cup of TNT is going to do it real quick. All right, we're going to take a short break for a medical timeout. There was a big old crash there, and we're going to take a second to check on Lavender and make sure everything is okay. And with that last look at Kimbo's picture, that's Kimbo on the screen. See, Kimbo shows up, and we got to show some Kimbo pictures. We are back. Lav is going to the medics to get looked at and was able to walk off. So we wish Lav the best. I agree with what Carl said, which is what I like about the crash was that immediately the player from the other team was like, are you okay, checking on you? Because ultimately, we play this game for fun, and it's great when teams like have camaraderie together, even when they're playing against each other, which is wonderful. So Miss Adventure is your lead jammer coming through, just scoring 4 points, while Krishandra Burns is headed to the penalty box with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Both of them are going to go.
Both of them? Oh.
Yeah.
You are right. Ed got a back block, so the blockers get a break.
A little shenana jam.
A little shenana jam happening. Oh, Kimbo missed the picture of Kimbo. It was during the medical timeout, Kimbo. You'll have to, well, hopefully we don't ever have another one, but if we ever have a medical timeout, we do show a slideshow of skaters. All right. Krishandra Burns coming out of the box after that Shenana Jam. Nice work there by our skater of the game, Cup of TNT, to keep Amy from running Krishandra back. And Ed is through. 2 minutes, 27 seconds left in this game, 43 seconds left in this jam. We will be going the full 2 minutes. And then we will have a short break before we come to our first, what do we call it? Our first bracket game?
That would be the semifinal.
Second round, semifinal?
It's the semifinal.
Oh, it's the semifinal.
Yeah.
So the
next two games are semifinals.
The next two games are semifinals, which will go to the first place game.
Yep.
And the next game will be between, hold on.
It's not in there.
It's not in there. Yes, it will be between Bloomington Blockheads and the winner of game 2, which was Team Philippines.
Yep.
So Bloomington Blockheads and Team Philippines will be here in about half an hour for the next game. Woo! Everybody kind of crashing and falling and everybody looking around. What are you laughing at, Sirius? Polly? Polly's face on that one. Like, what's going on? Nice job, Ed. Way to see the inside open. Nice job. Yes. Wonderful job. All right, with 1 minute and 16 seconds left, this could be the last jam of the game. What a fun game here between our home team of Cornfed and our visiting team of Rolla Rockets. But before we get to the last jam, we're going to do at least one more on the farm joke. And are you ready, Eric?
Official review. They switched it.
They switched it to an official review.
But you can still do jokes.
Can I?
Of course.
Are you sure?
Glad.
All right. A friend of mine just got a job as a director at McDonald's Farm. He has been made the CEIO. I can't even say it.
CIEIO.
CIEIO. CIEIO.
That's
EIEIO. CIEI.
Here we go. This starts to plummet right off the edge of the cliff.
I'm not off the edge of the cliff yet. That's tomorrow.
That's what I said. Starts. It just starts here.
Okay, but you know that CEIEIO? He really impressed me because he was outstanding in his field. That's the follow-up. That's what you get. Last jam. But not until we have an official review.
Yep. I mean, this is what you get. If you get an official review, you might as well use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite thing to do to officials.
Did you missed Rogue doing a cartwheel? Serious. Because you had the camera on the beautiful dazzle of referees. Look how official Biz looks as a head ref. Definitely making sure that we get the information from every single skater. And there's Phoenix, mom of, it starts with an S.
Sinister.
Sinister.
There you go.
So if this official review is like something against Sinister, I mean,
could be.
Moms and wives and husbands all stay pretty, refs are really good at being neutral. There's so many.
The thing is, having done some of this before, and I'm not saying they're going to be partial. It's going to be the opposite of what you think.
They're rougher.
They are rougher on the people they know because they expect more.
I think so. Well, and especially a mom. I expect more from you, Sinister.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're having fun on the line. Is this the hokey pokey or is this just spinning, turning ourselves around? All right, let's find out what that official review was.
We're not going to find out just yet. We're waiting for them to. The teams deserve to know first. It's their review.
The teams get to know first, which means it's something serious.
Maybe.
Tough Tone looks serious. Look at Tough Tone's face. Tough Tone knows that I'm talking to the chat about it. Look how you're doing a very good job being very serious. I feel like I'm talking with the London guards where you try to make them smile. You know how they're not allowed to, okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Tough Tone. So Rolla Rockets were asking for a back block to be called on the Cornfed jammer for running into a skater from Rolla while a penalty was being assessed. And why did they not keep their review?
They were asking for the back block to be, it was the jammer against the other jammer, but they had already assessed it. They just did it late.
Oh, okay. It was a late assessment.
So because they didn't know that, it was the one that, where I think that's the one where she went around the track all the way and then got the penalty. So because they didn't see that as, they missed that as being that penalty, they lose their official review because there's no penalty to call. It's already been done.
Carl says that the refs were not discussing an official review. They were talking about the movie Prey, which I feel like Carl has been trying. Is this the movie that you always talk about? And you always tell us that we need to be watching? Michael Kwan says pizza toppings. Fair. And Purple Fury, yes, you will be joining us next game. We're excited to have you on the mic and hear a little bit about Boomington Blockheads. 1 minute left in this game. This may be the last jam. Yes, Becky, I love that. TNT and Dig Dug are also married. So many good relationships out there on the track. As Boom becomes your lead jammer, Shred is jamming for Cornfed as we are coming down to the end of this game. Boom is through for 4 points. Shred has that star off and has passed it to the pivot. Barbarian, who is able to get out. Boom coming in on another scoring pass. Boom is through and decides to call the jam with 13 seconds left in the game. So if a timeout is called, which it is, we are going to have one more jam. These skaters just want to play.
I'm going to quit letting you say this should be the last jam.
Really? Am I making you too excited and then it doesn't happen?
This will be the third should
time?
Be the last jam. Just
no,
in
but
this
one
game.
one of them didn't count because there was an official review after I said this should be the last jam. It wasn't another jam. Like, there hasn't been 3, right? I don't know.
No, yeah, 2 jams ago you said this could be the last jam, and then last jam you said this should be the last jam. So you went from could to should.
Yeah.
But this will be the last jam. I don't imagine they're going to get out and call it off in 7 seconds.
7 seconds. I don't know. This will be the last jam.
I know you. There you go.
I couldn't hold it in.
Getting out and calling it off in 7 seconds is possible.
Does anybody have timeouts left? Only Rolla.
Cornfed still has their overview they could use as a timeout, and Rolla has 2 timeouts.
I think this will be the last jam. Sirius just wants a longer break in between games.
I know.
We keep adding more things to Derby Date Night, so now we have more things to do at halftime and in between games, and so we are not getting the long breaks that we used to get because we keep giving ourselves more work. This is a problem that we have created.
Yeah. I've got a whole spreadsheet to update.
And Trekkie Monster is through. Period time is gone.
There we go.
This will be the last jam. Is this the only time you allow me to say it? Calamity Jane is out and chasing down Trekkie Monster. You know, every time I say Trekkie Monster, I get really proud of myself because for most of my childhood until I was in college, I said Munster instead of Monster. And so every time I say Trekkie Monster, I'm very proud that I have finally corrected myself and I do not say Munster anymore. And on that note, the game is over. Rolla Rockets are headed to the semifinals with 2:16. Cornfed Roller Derby is headed to the Aw Shucks bracket, which is actually their cheer. Aw Shucks.
Yep.
So they'll be in the Aw Shucks bracket, and that'll be a rematch against Burning River, actually. Either later tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't remember. Carl, it's okay. Your team has 2 more games they're going to play in this tournament. Everybody gets to play 3. With that being said, we will be back in about 19-ish minutes with the beginning of our first semifinal game between Team Philippines and the Boomington Blockheads. And I'm going to give Eric a small break off the mic and bring on Purple Fury from Boomington Blockheads, who's going to give us some insider knowledge.
You're giving them a small break.
Who am I giving a small break?
The audience.
No. The audience loves you, Eric. I mean, Kimbo, you know, we'll talk about that one later. Kimbo loves you too. We all love you. And Eric will be back. He's here all day, today and tomorrow. Seriously? has his hands on the thing to turn my mic off, and I just keep not stopping.